Hello everyone, welcome to Grammar Groove English, where you will be learning English grammar, vocabulary and literary texts from your syllabus. Today we are gonna talk about the poem Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Now just like the poem Dust of Snow, which is also written by Robert Frost, Fire and Ice is also a very short poem. I've already covered Dust of Snow in the previous video, so do check it out. And now let's take a look at Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. In this poem, the poet talks about the different ways the world can end. Look at the first two lines of the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So there are two groups of people with two different opinions on how the world will end. Okay. So some people are saying that the world will end in fire. It means that fire will end everything. And some people are of the opinion that no, it will be ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Now the poet is saying that he has tasted enough of desire. Tasted as in seen. So he has seen enough of desire. So he has seen a lot of desire in human beings. Okay, a lot of desire, a lot of greed in human beings. And because of that, he thinks that the world will end in fire. Why? Because fire represents or symbolizes qualities like desire or greed or lust or fury or anger, stuff like that. Okay. But if it had to perish twice, perish means to end. Okay, so the poet says that fire will destroy the world first, but supposedly if the world were to end a second time, then ice will do the job. Why? Because I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great. So here he talks about hate. The poet has also seen enough of hate. So he has seen enough of hatred in the minds of human beings, and due to this hatred, people do vile things. So hatred is also another cause for destruction, and it is cold. Hatred comes from coldness. Hatred is unsympathetic. It is indifferent. It is uncaring. So therefore, hatred can be cold. Therefore, ice can represent hatred. Ice will be another destructive force to end the world. It would suffice. Suffice means enough. So it would be enough to end the world. So in this poem, Fire and Ice, the poet talks about the different ways the world will end one day. Now, he suggests that the world can end in two ways, either by ice or by fire. Fire and ice are two destructive forces of nature. They can erase everything in the world. Fire can burn things down, ice freezes everything. Okay. We have all seen apocalyptic movies like that where masses die, buildings collapse, forests burn down due to natural calamities such as fire or extreme cold. Okay, but here in this poem, they are compared with human emotions. Okay, fire and ice, they symbolize human qualities or emotions such as hatred and desire. Now, emotions like hatred, desire, greed, etc., if we leave these emotions unchecked, they can control us and destroy everything around us. Now, the burning fire represents human desires such as passion, anger, cruelty, greed, lust, etc. And ice represents cold hatred or indifference, intolerance, rigidity, and insensitivity. It doesn't care about anything. Now, the poet is of the opinion that the world will be destroyed by fire because he has seen enough of the selfish desires of humans. Okay, like humans are so greedy that they can do anything to fulfill their greed. Okay, and so fire, which is similar to greed, it engulfs everything in its flames. But he also says if the world were to end a second time, ice is also just as capable as fire to cause destruction. It means that firstly the world ends due to fire, which is actually human greed. But suppose it's gonna end a second time, ice is enough for it to happen. Because pure cold hatred can cause just as much damage as greed or desire can. Now, fire and ice, they are two contrasting elements by nature. If fire is chaotic, loud or passionate, ice is silent, uncaring or intolerant. but both can cause irreversible damage anyway. The end result is the same, they are doing the same thing. Now the rhyme scheme of this poem is ABA, ABC, BCB. And as for the poetic devices, we have symbolism, we have assonance, alliteration, imagery, anaphora, personification, and enjambment. First off, we have symbolism. What is symbolism? It is a tool of figurative language where an image, object, or idea or symbol is used to represent something other than its literal meaning. One thing is being used to represent another thing to which it has no apparent connection. So in this poem, Fire and Ice, these are symbols representing human desire and cold hatred. Okay. Fire represents human desire and ice represents cold hatred. And both of these concepts are directly mentioned in the lines of the poem. Desire and hatred are destructive forces of nature. Therefore, both fire and ice symbolize these destructive forces. Okay. Next, we have alliteration. Now, I have already explained what is alliteration in the previous video, Dust of Snow. So, you can check that out. Here, we have alliteration in the line, I hold with those who favor fire. So, favor, fire, this is a case of alliteration. So, the F sound is being repeated. And again in the line, some say the world will end in fire. So, world will. This is also another case of alliteration. Then we have imagery. So, imagery is when you use words in your poem to describe a scenery to your readers. Okay. So, you basically paint a picture in front of your readers. So, when people read your poem, they can visualize those scenes in their mind. That's called imagery. Here in the line, some say the world will end in fire. So when we say this line, you can imagine it in your mind, how the world will look once it is engulfed in flames. Okay, you can visualize it. You can paint a picture. You can see it. So this is a case of imagery. And also in the line, to say that for destruction, ice is also great. Here also we can imagine the way ice will destroy the world. Okay, we can visualize it in front of our eyes. So this is also another example of imagery. Next we have assonance. It is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line of a poem. So in the line, I hold with those who favor fire, we have an abundance of O sound. Hold, those. Next we have anaphora. What is anaphora? It is the repetition of words at the beginning of successive clauses. If all the clauses start with the same word, then we can call it an anaphora. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Here, some say is being repeated. Okay, some say, some say. So here we can see repetition. So this is an example of anaphora. Next we have personification. What is personification? The practice of representing an inanimate object or an abstract idea as a person and endowing it with human traits. So we take inanimate objects or abstract feelings or emotions and then we personify them. We treat them as real persons. That is called personification. So here the poet has personified fire and ice because they can destroy the world. Okay, they have the power to do so. And lastly, we have enjambment. I have already described what is enjambment in the Dust of Snow video. So do check it out. I will not explain it here. So here, some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. This is one example of enjambment. Next, from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. This is another example. And lastly, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So here this long stretch of sentence is a case of enjambment. So that's it for this poem. This is a very easy poem to tackle in your board exams, so read it thoroughly. And I hope you have understood what the poet is trying to convey through this poem. Okay. I hope this lecture was helpful to you. If you'd like to see more such videos, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you soon. Till then, take care.